Exeter City Football Club is a professional association football club based in Exeter, Devon, England. The team play in League Two, the fourth tier of the English football league system. Known as the Grecians, the origin of their nickname is subject to speculation and debate. The club is owned by the club's supporters through the Exeter City Supporters Trust. The club contests West Country Derby matches with a number of sides, with Plymouth Argyle being their fiercest rivals. Exeter City was founded in 1904 and began at St. James Park, where they remain to this day. They joined Division I of the Southern League in 1904. After a tour of South America in 1914 to generate awareness of football in the continent, the club became the first side to play a national team from Brazil. As a result, City and Brazilian side Fluminense are now also partner clubs. Exeter were invited to help create the Football League 3rd Division in 1920. They were assigned to the 3rd Division South the next year and won the 3rd Division South Cup in 1934. They remained in the division until becoming founder members of the 4th Division in 1958. They were promoted in 1963 to 64, only to be relegated after 2 seasons. They were promoted out of the 4th Division again at the end of the 1976 to 77 season and managed to stay in the 3rd Division for 7 seasons before being relegated in 1984. Exeter won their first league title in the 1989-90 season, gaining promotion as 4th Division champions under the stewardship of Terry Cooper. Relegated in 1994, they lost their Football League status at the end of the 2002-03 season. They spent 5 seasons in the conference, and recovered from defeat in the 2007 playoff final to win promotion out of the playoffs the next year. Manager Paul Tisdale built on this success by winning promotion out of League Two in 2008-09 and Exeter survived for 3 seasons in League One. Returning to League Two in 2012, they have lost in the playoff finals in 2017, 2018, and 2020. Exeter City F.C. was formed from 2 predecessor clubs, Exeter United F.C. and St. Sidwell's United. Exeter United was a football club from Exeter, Devon, that played between 1890 and 1904. In 1904, Exeter United lost 3-1 to local rival St. Sidwell's United, and after the match it was agreed that the 2 clubs should become one. The new team took the name Exeter City and continued to play at Exeter United's ground, St. James Park, where Exeter City still play today. Exeter United was formed from the cricket team of the same name and were one of the first football teams with the moniker United. St. Sidwell's United, which had also been known as St. Sidwell's Wesleyans and St. Sidwell's Old Boys, was a club that had formed from the regulars who frequented the Foresters Inn in Sidwell Street, Exeter, although the public house was always known as the Drum and Monkey. The team played in St. Sidwell's old colours of green and white. On September 10, 1904, Exeter City played its first ever competitive match, a 2-1 victory at St. James over 110th Battery of the Royal Artillery, in the East Devon League. The attendance was 600, and the winning goal scored by Sid Thomas, who was to serve the club in various capacities for 70 years. City topped the East Devon League with 11 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat in its first season, and transferred to the Plymouth and District League for next 3 seasons. In 1908, Exeter City AFC became a limited company. City became a full-time professional team, and applied successfully for membership of the Southern League, replacing Tottenham Hotspur. A wooden grandstand was erected, and the club entered into a leasing arrangement over the ground. On October 3, 1908, City got its record-highest FA Cup win, Exeter City 14-0 against Weymouth. The match was in the first qualifying round. James Daisy Bell scored 6 goals, and 10 of Exeter's 14 goals came in the first half. City changed to its current colours of red and white in 1910. This was after having had a poor start to the season, only 2 wins out of 11. City abandoned its supposedly unlucky green and white kit, and turned out for the first time in red and white striped shirts at home to West Ham United on November 12. The result of the game was a 0-0 draw, but 5 consecutive league wins came for the club in December, and the change of colours stuck. City made an historic tour of South America in 1914, during which time it played 8 matches against teams of Argentina and Brazil. The last match on this tour on July 21, 1914 was an encounter with the first Brazil national football team playing under the authority of a national football association, in this case the Federação Brasileira de Esportes, precursor of today's Confederação Brasileira de Futebol, founded just the month before. Brazil, featuring its first great star, Arthur Friedenreich, won this match at the Laranjeira Stadium, Rio de Janeiro, home of Fluminense Football Club with 2-0. The tour yielded 5 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats. The only other loss was in a match that kicked off 12 hours after the players got off the boat. Exeter City were invited by the Football League to become founder members of the 3rd Division in 1920. City's historic first match in the Football League took place on Saturday, August 28, 1920, when Brentford was the visiting team to St James Park. Exeter won 3-0. In 1931, City reached the 6th round of the FA Cup, losing a replay 4-2 to Sunderland in front of its largest ever home gate. 50 years later, City reached the 6th round again, but lost 2-0 to eventual winners Tottenham Hotspur. Earlier, Exeter had beaten Newcastle United 4-0, having beaten Leicester City in the previous round. In the 1963-64 season, City achieved their first ever promotion, going up to Division 3. However, City were relegated just 2 seasons later. It wasn't until 1977 that they would return to Division 3, under the guidance of Bobby Saxton. The end of the 1970s and the very early 1980s were regarded as City's most successful spell in the 3rd Division, including a finish of 8th in 1979-80 and an FA Cup run the following season. Star players included Tony Kello, John Delvin, David Polar. City's only major trophy so far has been the 4th Division Championship, which it won in 1990. In that season, City won 20 league games at St James Park, and remained undefeated in 31 home matches, including dramatic draws against Norwich City in the FA Cup 3rd round and Sunderland in the League Cup 4th round, both of which featured late equalizers for the visitors. Following the promotion, City rarely shone at the higher level. The departure of manager Terry Cooper and key players such as Sean Taylor, Richard Dryden, Clive Whitehead, Brian McDermott, and Steve Neville left new boss Alan Ball to pick up the pieces. There were some successes under the former World Cup winner, including winning both games against local rivals Plymouth in the club's first derbies for a decade in the 1992-93 season, but Ball left for Southampton in January 1994 and the returning Cooper was unable to save Exeter from relegation. Back in the bottom division, City struggled for nearly a decade, with chairman Ivor Doublé taking the club into administration and starting a chain of events that resulted in the sale of the club's ground. In November 1994, the club almost went out of business and sold its stadium to Beazer Homes for a sum of £650,000, but were able to stay there after the local council took it over. After nearly 2 years on the brink of closure, the club came out of administration on August 1, 1996, although the problems on the field were far from over. In 2003, City finished 23rd in Division 3 and was relegated to the Conference National. Exeter were the first club to suffer automatic relegation without finishing bottom of the league. City won their last game against Southend United 1-0, but were still relegated as Swansea City's victory over Hull City left the Grecians 1 point short of safety. Following relegation to the conference, the club was taken over by the Exeter City Supporters Trust, purchasing a majority shareholding on September 5, 2003. In May 2007, 2 of the directors who had been in charge during season 2002-2003 were convicted of fraudulent trading at the club, John Russell receiving a prison sentence and Mike Lewis a community service sentence. Several £1 million in debt and with no big investor in sight, the trust kept the club going through fundraising activities amongst rank-and-file supporters. Complex legal arguments with both Inland Revenue and football authorities meant that City's first season of non-league football was plagued by off-the-field uncertainty. The claim was finally dropped in June 2004. In 2004, a creditors' voluntary arrangement, CVA, was put in place to reduce the club's debts. Through the club's Red or Dead scheme, hundreds of fans pledged at least £500 each to fund the CVA repayments, but the FA Cup proved to be the income boost the Grecians had needed, as City was drawn Manchester United away in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. City drew 0-0 at Old Trafford in January 2005, gaining £653,511 as City's share of receipts from the 67,511 attendance. Further income from a televised replay, won 2-0 by United, coupled with ongoing fundraising and unpaid work from the club's supporters helped the club to repay its debts, and the CVA was cleared in December 2005. 2004 also saw the club's centenary. In May 2004, a friendly fixture was arranged against a Brazilian Masters team at St James Park, a celebration of City's South American tour of 1914. The Brazilian team, containing such notable players as Carica and Dunga, won 1-0. City's first team finished the 2006-07 season in 5th place, qualifying for the playoffs. After beating Oxford United on penalties in the semi-final, City met Morecambe at Wembley in the final, where they lost 2-1 despite taking an early lead. Exeter reached the playoff final in the following season. This time Exeter looked to be heading out of the playoffs after losing the first leg of the semi-final at home to local rivals Torquay United 2-1, but came back to win the second leg 4-1 with 3 goals in the last 20 minutes. In the final, Exeter met Cambridge United in front of a conference playoff record crowd of 42,511, winning 1-0 with a goal from Rob Edwards, earning promotion to League Two. The club followed its success in the conference by finishing as runners-up to Brentford in League Two. A goal from Richard Logan helped Exeter to win promotion to League One with a 1-0 win away to Rotherham United on the last day of the season. 2009-2010 was Exeter's 45th season in the third tier of English football. They have played more seasons in the third tier than any club who have never reached the top 2 tiers. They survived their first season at this level for 16 years by 1 point. An 82nd-minute Ryan Harley goal against Huddersfield Town on the final day of the season saw Exeter overcome the promotion chasers 2-1 and relegated Gillingham in the process. The club suffered a tragedy on August 10, 2010. Days after the start of the 2010-11 season, when striker Adam Stansfield died of cancer aged 31. As a result, their next fixture against Dagenham and Redbridge on August 14 was postponed as a mark of respect. Exeter recovered well, however, and finished 8th in the league that season, 1 point off a playoff spot. Following such a strong season, hopes were high for the 2011-12 season, but poor away form, with just 2 wins away from home all season, saw Exeter relegated to League Two. Relegation was confirmed on April 28, 2012, following a 4-1 defeat away to Carlisle United. The club remains owned by its fans, through the Exeter City Supporters Trust. During the 2012-2013 season saw Exeter have a marginally successful season, spending the season travelling up and down the top half of the season from 1st place to 10th. Exeter set new club record for away wins in a single season, winning 11 of their 23 fixtures away from home. City had one of the highest away win percentage of the season, however disappointing home form led them to fall into the playoff positions only to see a poor end-of-season run leaving them to fall into 10th position, despite their earlier automatic promotion and then re-estimated playoff ambitions. Tisdale claimed that injuries were to blame for City missing out on the playoff spot at the end of the 2012-13 campaign. Poor funds and lack of income lead to an unfortunate squad trim, with boss Paul Tisdale having to let go Jamie Curitin, lead goal scorer of the last campaign, netting over 21 goals in the 2010 campaign, with similar statistics. Guillem Bauza, Kevin Amankwa, unable to renew his contract despite of his fan favorite status and great playing abilities heralding fan chants and songs. Mark Molesley, despite being there only half a season, Rhys Evans and later Tully's new contract was withdrawn due to financial constraints. Despite this, Tisdale managed to sign Sam Parkin and Doug Bergquist. In 2013-2014, Exeter participated in Football League Two and the Football League Cup, but they were eliminated in the first round of the competition by Queen's Park Rangers. In the FA Cup, Exeter City were knocked out by Peterborough United in the first round. In the League Two season, Exeter finished in 16th. In pre-season, after a 0-1 friendly loss to Reading, the club went on a short tour in Brazil to commemorate 100 years since they played the Brazil national football team. Exeter drew 0-0 against Fluminense under-23s and then beat side Stupi and a Rio Cricket Club 2-1 and 3-1 respectively. Exeter finished pre-season with 2-0 home losses to Swansea City and Torquay United. Exeter City's opening matches of 2014-15 were a 1-1 draw against Portsmouth in League Two and then a 0-2 loss against Bournemouth in the Football League Cup. Both matches were played at St James Park. In the 2014-15 FA Cup in the first round, they were beaten 1-0 away to Warrington Town, a club 100 places lower than them at that current point in the season. The game was also broadcast live on BBC Two. The Grecians finished 10th in League Two in 2014-15, their playoff push just falling short in the final few weeks. City finished in 14th position in 2015-16, a season that included a memorable 2-2 draw against Premier League Liverpool in the FA Cup. In the 2016-17 season, City started badly and were bottom of the league by November. However, a turnaround in form saw Exeter finish 5th in the league and earn a playoff spot. Following a thrilling 3-3 draw in the first leg of the semi-final at Carlisle, the second leg, tied at 2-2, looked destined to go to extra time. But, in the 95th minute, Jack Stacey's long-range shot with his weak foot fired Exeter into the final, earning them a spot at Wembley. The final took place on May 28, and Exeter faced Blackpool. Their hopes for promotion were shattered when they conceded a goal within 3 minutes, and although they equalized, City eventually lost the game 2-1. On the back of the playoff final defeat, Exeter began the 2017-18 season unbeaten after 5 games, notably beating Cheltenham in a 7-goal thriller. On June 1, 2018, Exeter announced that, after 12 years as manager, Paul Tisdale had decided not to sign a new contract with the club, which announced that Matt Taylor, a former captain and under-23 team coach, had been appointed manager. The club is nicknamed the Grecians, a name whose origin remains the subject of much speculation. One suggestion is that in 1908 the club voted for the name because of its association with St. Sidwell's parish. Historically, people living in the parish of St. Sidwell's were said to have been known as Greeks or Grecians. This is possibly due to the parish's location beyond the city walls. For instance, in Homer's epic poem The Iliad, the Greek forces laid siege to the walls of Troy. However, perhaps more plausibly, the association arose because of rivalries between city boys and those of St. Sidwell's during the annual beating the Bounds. It has also been suggested the name derived from a group of children in St. Sidwell's who were referred to as the Grecians. A further possibility was that it derived from a jeweler's shop in Sidwell Street, close to the ground, which had a clock hanging outside displaying the name Grecians on its face. Yet another theory suggests that it is a corruption of Cerwysg, the Welsh name for Exeter. Cer equals fort, Wysg equals exe, fort on the river Exe, similar to the Cornish Ceresg. Thus, citizens could have been known as Ceryscans and so possibly mutating to Grecians. Famous fans include Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, Adrian Edmondson, Mark Nicol, Noel Edmonds, swimmer Liam Tancock, and Hoosiers drummer Alan Charland. Singer Joss Stone signed up as a member of the Supporters Trust, being introduced to fans on the pitch as a new member during a League Cup match against Liverpool. In 2002, pop singer Michael Jackson was made honorary director of Exeter City. He visited St. James Park with celebrity friend Uri Geller, who was also a director. The crew of HMS Defender, D36, also adopted Exeter City as their home team and used their strip when playing games. A survey conducted by Football Fans Census in 2003 revealed that Exeter City supporters consider their main rival to be Plymouth Argyle. The two clubs first met in a competitive fixture in 1908 when both sides were in the Southern League, and have contested matches intermittently during their histories due to Plymouth Argyle usually being in a higher division. Supporters also share a friendlier rivalry with Torquay United, a club whose supporters view Exeter as their main rival. The two clubs are closer geographically and have met more often during their respective histories, having first played a competitive match in 1927 after Torquay were elected to the Football League. Matches between the three clubs are known as Devon derbies. Despite their on-field rivalry, Torquay helped Exeter during their financial difficulties of 2003 by waiving their gate receipts in a pre-season friendly. This gesture was returned in 2015 when Exeter gave the Gulls their gate receipts as a result of Torquay's financial difficulties, having had to close down their academy and terminate the contract of manager Chris Hargreaves. As of October 27, 2020, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Notable former players include Harry G, who during the 1927-28 season made 29 appearances for the club, scoring 2 goals. He retired from professional after just 1 season at the club, suffering a career-ending broken leg. Harry had formerly played for the championship-winning Burnley FC side of 1921-22. Cliff Baston, who went on to play for Arsenal in England. Maurice Setters, who won an FA Cup winners' medal with Manchester United in 1963, and goalkeeper Dick Pym, who later played for Bolton Wanderers in England. Pym sailed to Bolton in 1921, for a fee of £5,000, allowed City to purchase St. James Park. Other well-known players include the prolific 1930 striker Fred Whitlow, Arnold Mitchell, who played 495 games for City, Tony Kello, City's record goalscorer, Ian Main, the gifted goalkeeper from the club's most successful years who died very young, Fred Binney and Darren Rowbottom in the 1980s and early 90s. Former England winner Lee Sharp played 4 games for Exeter at the beginning of their 2002-03 Division III campaign, scoring 2 goals. Former City player George Rader went on to referee the 1950 World Cup final, becoming the first Englishman to do so. David Pleath scored 14 goals for Exeter whilst playing for them between 1968 and 1970. He went on to manage several successful clubs, including Tottenham Hotspur, before becoming a football media pundit for ITV and Radio 5 Live. In recent times, Exeter City Academy graduates Dean Moxey, George Friend, Matt Grimes, and Ethan Ampadu have gone on to play in the Premier League, while Danny Seaborn and Elliot Freer established themselves as regulars in the Scottish Premier League. Ampadu, son of former Arsenal and Exeter City player Kwame Ampadu, has also been capped twice for Wales. Jamie Mackey, who played for the Grecians between 2005 and 2008, went on to play 60 Premier League games for QPR, and has picked up 9 caps for Scotland. Ollie Watkins, who while at the club was named 2017 EFL Young Player of the Season, joined Brentford in July 2017 for a club record fee. In a survey published by the Professional Footballers Association in December 2007, Alan Banks was listed as the all-time favourite player amongst Exeter City fans. In 2014, Exeter City, in partnership with the University of Exeter, the Heritage Lottery Fund, the Southwest Heritage Trust and the ECFCST History Group, launched the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame aims to recognize the achievements and contributions made by genuine legends to the club. The following players have been inducted into the Hall of Fame as of July 18, 2018. As of April 20, 2020. The following have been chairman of the club. Indicates spell as co-chairman. Football League 3rd Division South/League 1, 3rd tier. Runners-up, 1932-33, Exeter's highest ever league position. Football League 4th Division/League 2, 4th tier. Champions, 1989-90. Second place promotion, 1976-77, 2008-09. Fourth place promotion, 1963-64 Conference National. Playoff winners, 2007-08. Playoff finalists, 2006-07. FA Cup. Quarter finalists, 1930-31, 1980-81. Football League 3rd Division South Cup. Winners, 1933-34. Football League Trophy. Southern Section finalists, 1992-93, 1999-2000, 2010-11. FA Trophy. Semi-finalists, 2005-06. Devon St. Luke's Challenge Cup. Winners, 22-19-25-26, 1926-27, 1927-28, 1953-54, 1958-59, 1960-61, 1961-62, 1962-63, 1963-64, 1964-65, 1967-68, 1973-74, 1984-85, 1985-86, 1986-87, 1996-97, 1997-98, 2000, and 102, 2003 04, 2004 05, 2008 09, 2018-19. East Devon Senior Cup. Winners, 3 1953-54, 1980-81, 1981-82. Runners-up, 1 1903-04, as St. Sidwell's United. Trowbridge Charity Cup. Winners, 1 1927-28. Hospital Cup. Winners, 1 1969-70. Bilsley Cup. Winners, 1 1985-86. Brian Lomax Supporters Direct Cup. Winners, 1 2017-18. Largest league victory 8-1 v Coventry City, 1926. 8-1 v Aldershot, 1935, the score was 0-0 against Aldershot at halftime. Largest FA Cup victory, 14-0 v Weymouth, 1908. Largest league defeat 0-9 vs Notts County, 1948. 0-9 vs Northampton Town, 1958. Record home attendance, 20,984 vs Sunderland, FA Cup 6th round replay, 1931. Record away attendance, 67,551 vs Manchester United at Old Trafford, FA Cup 3rd round, 2005. Most away victories in a single league season, 13 victories, from 23 matches, in 2016/17.